Welcome back, watch fans. Today we're talking about the 10 commandments for watch collectors. That's right, the rules you got to follow if you want to make money with watches, if you want to build a great collection that you can be proud of, that increases in value, right? That increases in value. And you don't want to be one of these suckers, these window lickers, crayon eaters, and tomato cans that, buy watches, hype watches. You don't want to chase hype. You don't want to be one of these suckers chasing hype. No, what you want is want to be one of those bold individuals who gets in on the ground floor of trends long before all the other tomato cans hop on the trend. Because you know what? Once the tomato cans start hopping on, that's when we start unloading. That's right, because by then the prices will have tripled, quadrupled, or more. Unbelievable, but true. Now let's talk about the 10 commandments for watch collectors. I'm going to be talking about rule number 8 today. And that rule is thou shalt only buy best of breed. Thou shalt only buy best of breed. What does that mean? Well, it means you got to buy the watch that the brand is known for. So that means if you buy an Audemars Piguet, it's got to be only a Royal Oak. That's right, it's got to be a Royal Oak. And you know what? It's got to be either a perpetual, or simple, simple basic watch. No chronographs, okay? That's not what they're known for. They're not known for the chronographs. And their chronographs have problems, right? When it comes to Rolex, what's the watch that you want to buy? This watch? Well, maybe not. I'll explain why in a moment. But what you want with Rolex is you want their best of breed sports models. You don't want to buy their stupid dress watch that they are giving to all the tomato cans, like that 1908, that new watch that they're trying to hype everybody into, that they just released, that platinum with an icy blue dial. It's a piece of garbage, okay? You do not want to buy that watch. What you want is the brands, actually the watches that Rolex is known for. And by the way, that means specific sports models, okay? It means do not buy the Explorer 2. Those are pure garbage. They're trash. The watches Rolex is known for is, well, the greatest hits. The Daytona, the President Day Date, the Submariner, which I hate, but yes, the Submariner, they are known for that. And what other watches, right? We got the Submariner, the Date, the Date Just, right? And what about brands like let's say JLC? Now JLC is interesting, right? JLC, and we'll touch on JLC in a moment. But yeah, you don't want to be buying those watches which are, off, not the brand's main focus. And the other thing is this: when we're talking about best of breed, you got to buy the right watch in the right metal. So, for example, if we're talking about, the Daytona, it's really, we're talking steel. We're talking steel, possibly two-tone. Yeah, I know guys are going to be talking about platinum and gold, whatever. I think those are missing the point. Those watches are missing the point for the reason being that, when the Daytona was designed, it was designed as a basic sports watch, which was, the 60s. And, possibly you can go into two-tone because that would have been, the 70s era, 80s era. Okay, I get the two-tone. The gold, the yellow gold, we're kind of reaching. And when it gets to platinum, yeah, that's really reaching. What's interesting is, what watch does Rolex give to the people who win the Daytona, right? What watch do the Daytona winners get? They get a two-tone. That's right, they get a two-tone, like this two-tone. Now, what about this watch? This is the Rolex Yachtmaster 40 with a chocolate dial, and as you can see, yes, it is two-tone rose gold chocolate. Now, is this best of breed? Well, no, this is actually a controversial watch. Again, you want to watch it, doesn't need to be explained, right? What I mean is this, think about it, you go to a strip club, right? You want to watch it. Look, the stripper should basically recognize what it is that you're wearing, right? It's a Rolex, okay, it's got to look like a Rolex. If you want to wear Patek Philippe, that's fine, but, it's got to be a Patek Philippe, right? Which means it can't be some, weird, what's the watch that they have? The Neptune. Not the Aquanaut, not the Nautilus, but the Neptune. By the way, the Aquanaut and the Nautilus were also kind of tomato can watches that, I know in recent years they got hype. But what about this watch, the Yachtmaster? yeah, technically, this actually violates the commandment, the eighth commandment, because the Yacht Master, kind of a controversial watch, right? It's not really something that Rolex is that well known for. They're really not. And it doesn't look like a Rolex, really. I mean, it does for people who know Rolex, but it doesn't have, the fluted bezel. It doesn't have the bluesy thing going on. It doesn't have that Rolex look. I mean, obviously, yeah, you see the bracelet, yeah, but the average tomato can is not going to think Rolex, right? Just like the turnograph, they're not going to think Rolex. So Rolex is really not that well known for this watch. But if you know anything about Rolex, you know that this was kind of their watch that they use as kind of like almost like advanced research. They use this as the platform of the Yacht Master platform for really doing advanced research, developing new trends, just like they did with the turnograph before, right? So we're talking about the rotating bezel, precious metals, all sorts of stuff, all sorts of innovations. We first started with the turnograph, then they started doing with the Yacht Master. Also, we're talking about the the innovative clasps and all that stuff that they started doing with the turnograph. Then they moved on to the Yacht Master. So again, what's the first titanium watch that Rolex did? That's right, it's a Yacht Master. The first titanium Rolex is a Yacht Master. Also, with the Oyster Flex, the first one they did it with was a Yacht Master, which I'm not that crazy about that yellow gold with a ceramic. If I'm not mistaken, that ceramic bezel was also first, right? So again, this is kind of their innovative platform. Also, it's far more elegant than the Submariner. Wears much better. I've talked, I've gone through all the pros of this watch before. But here's the thing, though. People do recognize it as a Rolex. I'm not trying to brag or anything. And by the way, I don't think this is bragging. It might be actually bad. But I've probably been complimented on this watch by more people than any other watch I have, right? And I'm talking about mostly by the peasants, right? By the the unwashed masses. When they see the colonel wearing this watch, they say, "Oh, nice watch," or "Nice Yacht Master." If they want to try to impress me, that they know what it is, right? So. And again, I have the Royal Oak, I got this, that, whatever. The Submariner, the King Tut. No, this watch for some reason gets that interest because look, here's the thing: it does stand out. It doesn't look like a tomato can watch, like a basic bitch Submariner. But yeah, it does technically violate the best of breed rules because if you're like a basic tomato can, right? You want to play it safe. You want to play it safe like a little bitch. You're gonna buy a black Submariner with a black dial, right? The black dial, black bezel, or you'll buy a Datejust, whatever, or Rolex Date President with a champagne dial. That's when you're a real tomato can. By the way, you notice some of the tomato cans who have that date with a champagne dial. I'm talking about the modern one. Okay, we're talking about the 40 millimeter, the modern watch. There is no reason for anybody to be buying that watch with a champagne dial. And by the way, this also goes into, we're talking about best of breed. You got to have, again, the right metal, right? The right metal. Is two-tone the right thing for the Yacht Master? No. Actually, this is a violation of the rule. The proper look for the Yacht Master would be the steel with the blue dial. That is the right combination. Again, we're talking about getting the right watch in the brand in the right metal combination, the right spec, right? So it's got to be the blue dial. This is the wrong look, but for me, I happen to like this. Okay, I do love that blue dial. Maybe at some point I might get one, but would I give this up? I don't know. I don't know if I'd give it up. Here's the other thing, though. Again, I'm based these days mostly out at an undisclosed location, and the watch matches the environment. The blue dial would not really work here, as you guys can see, right? The blue dial does not work with this environment, this desert environment at an undisclosed location, right? It doesn't go with a cactus. This does. This kind of fits the look. And yeah, it actually is a nautical theme. I wanted to bronze, whatever, etc., etc. Yeah, so you got to get the right watch. And by the way, I gave a couple of examples, right? If we're talking Patek Philippe, generally you want to go with yellow gold, unless it's a very clean dial. We're talking about the dress watches, by the way. We're talking about the dress watches. So, for example, I gave examples of like, that tomato can Archie luxury. He bought a travel time with in white gold, which is really the wrong look for that watch, right? It's the wrong look because that's really, it's designed to be like a charming, it's got to have like this kind of romantic feel to it, charming, whatever, world travel bullshit, whatever. The original one was yellow gold, or I think rose gold. So it really, that's the metal it's designed to be in, right? And also the other tomato can followed him, which is that tan, the Patek Philippe Tenzil. Archie's sugar daddy followed him and also bought a white gold, and those watches are absolutely horrible. If you're gonna go with the travel time, with those blue dials, gray dials, it's gotta be yellow gold. The exception is if the watch is truly modern, like we just put out, by the way, in our weekly email newsletter, which you can get. Click the link in the video description below to get our weekly newsletter. We showcase that Japan edition, Tokyo edition of the World Time, purple dial, white gold, and that watch looks amazing. Now, why does it work? Well, because the type is modern. Okay, the purple works well with white. It does not work with the yellow. Okay, the watch works in white gold. Otherwise, you'd want it in yellow gold. Now again, back to the day dates. Look, what happens when you hang around like Archie Luxury? All the bad stuff, the vibrations, they rub off on you. So, like for example, he's got that tomato can Kesslowitz or something. He's got some sort of sector dial. Is it an annual calendar or sector dial, something? The ultimate tomato can watch from Patek that nobody wants, right? It's a garbage watch. When he could have gotten something much better for the same money, like a Calatrava, maybe even a perpetual calendar, right? But no, he had to get the tomato can watch. And the same guy, he's got like, I don't know, how many Rolexes does he? I think we saw a video yesterday he showed when Archie was reviewing the Colonel's collection. He had like a bunch of basic bitch Rolexes, right? The same stuff that everybody has, the GMT, the Submariner, all the same garbage. The other tomato cans on the channel, I think was it JJ? So this guy has, JJ, that's the guy with who wears the baseball cap all the time indoors, the black baseball cap with the beard. So this tomato can has a day date Rolex President yellow gold with the champagne dial, which is, I guess it's kind of a charming vintage look if you're talking 1970s and 1960s, possibly 1980s, right? Because, but that's kind of an ironic thing because that watch is, we talked about before about how it's kind of a tacky watch. So that watch in the 40 millimeter size, in the modern size, you want to have a modern face. You don't want to go with a champagne. That's a very tacky, old, dated look for a modern watch. It does go with a vintage watch, but not with a modern watch. If you're going with a 40 millimeter, you got to go with, either it's the rose gold with the green, which is amazing, okay, or white gold, blue dial with the Romans, or the meteorite dial. That is the way to go. You don't want to go any other way. And the other guy has, I think, was a Bruce Williams, I think, who also claims to be a watch expert. These watch experts are, they're a dime a dozen. I mean, you throw a rock, you'll hit a watch expert. He also has the same yellow gold day date with that champagne dial. I mean, it's really, anytime you see anybody who has a present with a champagne dial that's, under the age of 70, they're a tomato can, okay? It's just the way it is. Full stop, okay? There's no excuses to have that watch. Even the 36 millimeter size, you should not have it unless, it's like a linen dial, a linen champagne dial. So anyway, I don't know. Let me know what you tomato cans think. Leave your nasty and vicious comments below. See you in the next one.